RBG died over the weekend. RBG, you guys don't know who that is? Now the election is gonna be crazy. You know what the Democrats said is like, if you guys do this, they're gonna get rid of filibuster, and then they're gonna pack the court with more justices. So you thought that this was bad. It's gonna get even uglier. All right, ready? Can you guys see it? So we're gonna look at limits. So recall from Calculus 1. Do you guys remember your limits in Calculus 1? Like what you guys did? We looked at from the left and the right, and then we did all these crazy tricks, right? From the left. Exists limit as x goes to exists and 3 they are equal. Okay, from the left when they're equal. All right, so in calculus 3 limits is even easier than that. The idea is there, but it's easier calculation. Can you guys see green? Yeah? Let's make it. Has a limit as if so we're looking at three-dimensional thing. So try to imagine that you can walk up to AB. So we're talking about on a surface from any direction. In the XY plane. Which is the input. And you get the same value for the limit of the f of xy, which is the output. Bad news, very tricky. So what do we do? Even though it's tricky, it's a little bit much easier. Man, I had like shish kebab. The food is making me so sleepy for lunch. Have you ever had that? The restaurant called Shish Kebab? No? It's on, where is it on? Flamingo and Rainbow. It's Armenian restaurant, so. So let's look at a situation. Ready? Should have had my coffee. So let's look at a scenario. Let's walk up to 0, 0. Along the positive axis. positive x-axis. Let's see what happens, okay? So, when you look at a positive x-axis, y is equals what? 0. So we get what? We get limit as x goes to x-axis positive, it becomes what? 2. What about along the positive y-axis? Then this becomes what? X becomes 0, so you get axis, I'm sorry, it's not x, the f of xy. Y-axis positive, it becomes what? 3. So right there. So what? So the limit does not exist. Did I class my start early? No. 2 of you guys came in late today.
Are you getting those limits just from doing the limits how we already know how to go?
Yeah. Over here today? Oh. I was driving around like some streets where they have crazy traffic, so over here. But the best thing about Vegas is you never take the big roads. You could always find small roads and it will take you. That's the best thing about Vegas. In California, no. It's gonna take you the same path no matter what. All right, so let me give you some properties. Functions of 2 variables. You know the Microsoft store they had in Vegas? It permanently closed down. Yeah. This sucks, man. Like you could go there and hang out and learn new things. Do you guys do that? Like go to Apple store and hang out, learn new things? Like Xbox. You guys don't do that? Or you guys do that? Yeah. Okay. What? I honestly don't know. I just checked it today and it says a permanent close. I was like, damn it. I need to find out all this new stuff about technology. I felt bad for getting rid of my iPad. Wasn't I making fun of someone who had iPad last class? Yeah, okay, sorry. This is what happens. That's what karma. Stupid karma. Do you think heaven or hell will have karma? It wouldn't even exist, right? So my question to you, if you end up in heaven and you never get disappointed, so what's the point of being happy all the time then? Think about that. Like, if you don't feel hungry, then why do you want to eat food?
Yeah, if you never feel hungry, you're not going to eat.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, I'm like, what is it? Then what's the purpose of being in heaven?
Maybe that's why we go through like.
Yeah, but then I'm talking about like, think about that. You live for how long? At most 120 years, right? And we're talking about eternal, like billions of years. So like for billions of years, you're not going to be hungry. You're not going to do dumb things. You're not going to do anything else. So what is it?
That's why we all want to go to hell.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hey, hell has alcohol.
I don't know. Because it will be so hot, it will like.
Special alcohol, like the fluid in it, has got chemical properties that allow it.
Oh, it's rubbing alcohol. He read books. He read. Like I'm really interested now. So if you start thinking about heaven, you stop becoming religious. Think about that. The following rules. So these are the following rules. If L, we're not gonna do the proof in this class. K. Oh no, I'm not gonna use kappa. I'll use K. Are real numbers and limit. I think purgatory would be a better version of everything. You're just waiting. Any Catholic over here? Did you guys study about purgatory? Did I teach you that? Oh. What is it? What? I think that book came much later when you guys didn't teach you in the history too. So you know the whole Saint Basilica, the Saint Basilica dome, they have it in Rome. You know how they came the money to be, right? So they were like literally passing out. Okay, I'm Pope. Give me money. You'll end up in heaven. And that's where the money came from. Yeah. So what happened? It creates so much problems. Like, all right. Let's create another existence. We'll call it purgatory. So while you earn more money on things like that, or find a way to do it, it's a halfway stop between heaven and hell. That's, you guys didn't read the doctrine by that Pope? Oh, Martin Luther broke up for many reasons. Many reasons. There were Germans too. Germans, they're crazy. I don't like Germans, not because of World War II, because they defeated my team Argentina in the last World Cup. I was like, why? So these are some basic. Some of the other rules I'm going to give you, they're going to be incredibly trivial. Sum rule. They all have limits. Oh, that's why I use kappa, because that's a constant. Oh, it's okay, that's fine. I'll just put the kappa, K inside. And the fourth one. Notice I'm not saying g of xy has to be 0, because it's going to act differently in this case. Can you guys try to do this? Oh. Yeah. K. Kappa is a special character. We'll just make it. You could call it italic K. Or just regular kappa. It's a constant. I think in engineering field, certain letter will represent a certain like type of movement, a certain power it will have. Oh, speaking of that, I have a joke for you guys. How does a mermaid washes her fins? With the tide. Rin, that was sarcasm laugh. You're not gonna get an A anymore. I already said it. You didn't. I should say more jokes. Those type of jokes then. All right, so let's look at this problem. If we plug 0 in, you get what? 0 over 0. But you guys know how to do this problem, right, guys? Previously, how did you guys used to do it? Remember, what's the term it's called? Yep.
My dynamics class, the algebra gets like so intense. Like you have like a cosine and a sine and a function, and you have to solve for theta, which has two things and you can't combine them.
Are they getting composed? Multiplication? How? What's the operation?
Like you'll have something like cosine is equal to sine of 2 theta plus something to something. Whatever.
Yeah.
And to solve it, like you have to do an x substitution for a trade.
You don't use the SPSS or MATLAB to do those things?
I have them, but for the exams, I need to be able to do them.
Oh, okay. It's just setting up is the hard part. Yeah. You don't need to do that. It becomes really, for an engineer, you don't need to go like do the calculus. Oh, I want to make sure this is right or wrong. But then again, you do need to understand it because if you have error, like when you have programs going on and something is bad, then you need those specialists going in and make sure that you don't have any error going on. Yeah, that's a different field though. Oh, cubic functions, that still is doable. Like they're
it's still doable, but it gets pretty intense.
Yeah, that's why you use that. It gets fun when it becomes quintic. So can you believe that 600-700 years ago they used to do quintic functions by hand?
That's crazy.
Have you seen you should see the actual paper they wrote. I still like the way they explain things. The like verbatim English translation, I didn't understand it. I had to go back. Understand, it's kind of like this. Oh, can you handle it? So in modern days, what it means is if you can the pressure, if you could cope with it, right? But handle, like verbatim means like you're talking about handle. What's going on? What it means? So it's like that. They use those type of terms like 700 years ago. Even though it's English, I don't understand what the heck they're talking about. So they will use numbers to represent algebra. So they wouldn't use letters. So using X, Y, Z is a modern invention. They had algebra, but they use numbers to represent unknown numbers, which is really stupid because I'm getting even more confused.
I remember when I first heard algebra was invented, wait, they didn't have algebra before? What were they doing? They're like everything is ratios and proportions. Right?
Yeah, no. They did. Yeah, the proportion was Europeans. The Arabs, they had algebra, but they didn't use the letter like X, Y. They use pseudo numbers. Oh. They literally use pseudo numbers to do it. Linear, like system of linear equations with 3 variable, 4 variable, 5 variables. They use numbers to represent algebra, like X, Y, Z, and so on.
Even when I'm doing it, I have a lot of stuff going on.
So imagine you're using number to do more numbers to do it. It's like, what is happening? It's like I had to do papers on that. I hated it.
I even changed the if I have a kappa and a k, I just changed it to something completely.
And that's called modern technology. That's why old stuff is stupid. Like most of the old stuff is really dumb and stupid. We got away from it.
What about 100 years from now?
Yeah, and they're gonna think, ha, you guys did calculus, what, you guys are like this way. It was so stupid. But certain things we're gonna keep it. Like Newton's stuff, we didn't keep it. His stuff is stupid. Leibniz stuff, we kept it. Like integral, derivative, almost all his symbols, we're keeping it. The letters they wrote, they have a verbatim English translation on it. If a book, I'll give it to you. Like if you want to, yeah, just read it. You gotta give it back to me though.
Okay.
This becomes super easy, right? When you do that, what does it become, guys? X minus y times. What about at the bottom? X minus y. Cancels out, and you plug 0 in, and what do you guys get? 0. Are we good? Easy so far? Oh, this is not going to be on the first exam. All this stuff is going to be on the first exam. Is from last week.
Curvature on the first exam?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll make it easy, curvature. Let me see. Are we good? Chris? Catholic weddings are the worst wedding to attend. You got to be on your knees for 2 hours. Have you ever been to Catholic wedding? Oh my God. Especially if you go bilingual, they have to do both languages. And if you go to like not so good church, they don't have knee boards. So you're literally on the floor. Who you know?
When you first said it, I thought you said calculus.
No, calculus, no Catholic wedding.
What are you guys talking about?
So when you get as old as I am, you get to attend a lot of your friends' wedding. So that's my experience. One of them made a mistake to choose me to give a speech on her behalf. Like her best friend is like,
You loved it, right? You knew it was a mistake and you loved it.
yes. And I had my tequila shots right prior to that. I had 4 shots. Yeah, let's bring it up. Like they were all talking about crying stuff and everything. I went complete opposite of that. I was like, there's nothing. I just said, there's nothing better than this. You will never get better person than who you met from now on. You're lazy to get it anymore. And that's what happened. But that's the truth though. Like if you truly get married, it's because you're tired of finding someone better. And you picked it. All right, I'm content with it. Any married people over here? No one? Okay.
Remember last semester?
Oh, yeah. And he did agree with me all the time. All right, in this case, this is pretty easy. Why is that? Just 3? No, it should be -3. Oh, sorry. When you plug that in, what do you guys get? Walter, what is it? Zero minus 0 times 1 plus 3 over 0. I'll just go 0 minus 1, right? Yeah, it becomes what? No, negative. Oh, no. 0. It's just 3. Oh, no, you're right. 0. Oh, yeah, that's that. Aha. I had it right. Okay. Yeah, because of this. They turn off the air again. All right. What is this? Not all at once, guys. Miguel? What is it? You sure, Miguel? 1/1000. What is it? I can't even know if you're talking or Miguel talking because everybody's mouth is covered. So there is no depth, like the voice depth, because I don't know if you're moving your lips or not. What is it, guys? 5. Jesus, 3, 4. It's 3, 4, 5 triangle. You guys don't remember that? How many of you guys believe that pyramids was built by the aliens? Good, no one.
Yeah,
Oh, the
exactly.
aliens.
Super hot, right?
Hey, it's on the History Channel.
They were made by the
You-
Lucidae.
By who? Reptile people? It is pretty interesting how we think the Romans or European civilization, we believe that it wasn't done by any advanced society and they did all this amazing thing. But when we see Egyptians doing it or the Persian do it, it's like, oh, they can't be that advanced to build it. It must be the aliens. Do you see that? Or even Chinese, like many of the earlier civilizations, no way in the heck they could have done it. It was too advanced for them. Yet when the Europeans does it, oh yeah, they did it. That's another form of not racism, but prejudice. No, prejudice is too soft in this case. Can you use it racism? No. What would you use it? English major, what's the term for it? Yeah, what's the word? Does anybody know? Is there a word for that? Yeah. Yeah, but Eurocentrism might not be bad. I mean, if you're smart and you're right, that makes sense. I mean, later in the 20th century, Europeans did get a lot of things right, and that's perfectly fine. Giving women right to vote, enlightenment, all these ideas, that's fine. But like, any word for that? Anybody knows? Ren, what's the word for it?
I don't know, I'd go white privilege, but I know that's not.
Well, Italians weren't considered white until the 20th century, and they used to insult Italians in America by, the term called garlic eaters. So in early 1900, if you went to school, like elementary, middle school, and you're Italian immigrants, they would say, oh, ha, garlic eaters, garlic eaters. Nowadays, it's like, can you try to eat food without garlic? I'm like, oh, why? Like, you will never date a person who says, I don't like garlic. If I ever meet that person, my regret is, why did I pick that person? Going on, yeah. Okay, all right. Good way of defending that person. All right, this is the fun one. Why? What? No, it's e to the x plus z over z squared plus cosine of square root x. You guys forgot how I write my z? That's the cursive z. Thank you, Wayne. I needed your approval. It looks like what, Kenna? Y? No. This is y. This is cursive z. This is the capital for fancy z, I believe. Oh, for uncultured people, yeah. But like when you, yeah, exactly. They taught you by someone who does not know. No, I'm kidding. Writing changes. Look at the old writing. Like, go on Wikipedia. Spend your Saturdays. Go through old documents, how they write it. And what do you guys do for like on your off days? Huh? I mean, how much sleep do you need? Like, if you sleep more than 8 hours, like your body aches. So 6 is the right amount of hours. What is it, Leo?
I don't know, I got one.
You got one? It's 1/2. This becomes what? 1. At the bottom becomes what? Cosine of 0 is what? 1. E to the...
Wait, why 0?
Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, it's 0. Cosine of 0 is what? 1.
Oh, it's x times y, not x times z.
Yeah. And then you get 1. Yeah, 1. Yeah, which is 1/2. Yeah. Okay.
So you make your z too weird.
No, it's the right way to write z. I think I was reading this article, or when I was in olden days, like 100 years ago. Nowadays we write M like this, right? They used to write M like this. Have you seen that? Anybody have seen it? Julio have seen it? Yeah. 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 You guys have like technology, like the university I went to, we used to have fifth floor library where they had old text, like 400 or 500. So I was like, nobody goes there. I was like, can I go in? Like, yeah, it's like everybody could go in. Apparently people don't go into libraries to pick up old books and look at them or smell them. Have you tried to find books that nobody has checked out for the last 30 years? And then you open it and you smell it. You don't know what I'm talking about? You guys don't do that. It's like you can smell like 30 years old thing. Kenna has done it? Well, I'm like my jeans is awesome. It's better than most of you guys. Weak sauce, so. No, I grew up in California. We didn't have AC growing up, so everybody opened their windows. They'd be outdoor. So I think people has more allergy versus Vegas people because everybody stays indoor. You have AC on all the time. Yeah, there are some genetics part to it, but it's also nurture. So like if you move to, let's say, outdoor like Oregon or like, no, I don't know about Florida because everybody uses AC, but if you stay outdoor a lot more, that goes away.
Or you die.
Can you die from allergy?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Wow.
If you give me like a peanut right now, like,
Oh, yeah. Wait, you have peanut allergy? Oh, poor you. So we know how to murder you now. All right, this is a tricky one. Here's the reason why. X squared plus y squared technically equals what? Does anybody know in terms of circle? What is it? A radius. Yeah, r squared. And in this case, it becomes what? As x and y goes to 0, radius goes to 0 too. That proportional holds. So sine equals r squared over r squared. Now, if you plug 0 in, you get 0 over 0, right? Do you guys remember your little hospital rule? L'Hôpital?
Oh, L'Hôpital?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got 0 over 0.
Yeah, so you get indeterminate and you do the derivative of it. So the bottom one is that. Top one is what? Chain rule. So 2r times cosine of r squared. And cancels out. And cosine of 0 is what, guys?
If you have a more complicated one, like, would you expand the R again?
I'm going to show you some. This is the craziest R we will do. This is the algebra one. So if you worked a lot of algebra, you guys will remember that. Or you could do the straight out division. But anyway, what do you think? Can you guys factor it out? Do you guys remember that, factoring?
I don't remember the
I don't remember off the top of my head.
But let's think about, if you factor out, you get x plus y. What's the inside? Let's say x squared, and you're going to have y squared, right, guys? You will have that. Now, then what else do you have inside? And this has to be positive because this is positive, right? The rule is if you factor, if this is positive, and once you factor out the positive, you have left inside is this. Here's another way of doing that. Do you guys remember the long division? Do you guys remember that? You can do that too. Because you have this part right over here. Anyway, what happens next, guys? And what's the answer? 4? What? 1, 1. 3. Yeah, it becomes positive.
Is that like a completing the cube?
It's one of those technique, completing the cube. Another way, I think you might be able to do the Pascal's triangle. 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1. But these are the 0 coefficient. But then some other funky things happen. Those becomes like yeah, those are just playing with algebra. All right, now let's do a fun one. Okay, what's the answer to this? Okay, try this on your own, kids. I told you guys about the extra credit, right, guys? And if you can't vote, yeah, I didn't tell you guys that? Yeah, so if you vote, you get extra credit. If you cannot vote, there are ways you can volunteer for an upcoming election. Just find out, just spend a couple hours on voting and bring me the proof and I'll give you extra credit. You guys even need extra credit? Oh, I told you guys this, that if you fail my final exam, you fail my class. It doesn't matter. What do you guys do the rest of the semester? So, and also, if you get an A in my final exam, you will pass my class automatically. Are you guys done? The answer? Done? What's the answer, guys? What is it? 3 again. Alrighty then. This will conclude today's lecture.